very important topic these days. How do you avoid data breaches, right? They're very costly. They're very expensive to maintain and clean up. So what's the best way to avoid getting breached in the first place? What is the strategy to take, right? How do you avoid that kind of liability that may come your way? So some things that come to mind is, of course, back to data mapping, right? If you have a good labeling and you have good classification policy in place and you've been following it along, then you'll be able to properly follow your data as it enters and leaves the organization, right? So we can then control the data flow points, right? And as our privacy policy states, and everybody should have a privacy policy, it's important. Know your policies, live by your policies. Having a good privacy policy means that you understand how your data is mapped within your environment, right? So when it comes to data in the cloud, do you know that this data, for example, is used in BigQuery versus it's stored in just one database, right? You want to make sure that you understand how you use this data and you're able to describe it and have use cases, right? So it's important to sort of start good on the right hand and be able to use this information to then achieve data mapping as well as consent forms, right? You want to give your employees ability to interact with you so that if they need to be forgotten, for example, if they need to change any of that information, you need to have a good strategy. You have to have a good website where they can go and actually request that information to be deleted or altered. And then the last thing, your cookies. Cookies are very important. They taste awesome if they're in the right place, but it's far too often that people don't have a good cookie policy or good strategy for implementing it on their website, right? Which cookies are necessary, which cookies are unnecessary and can be deleted. And then what happens again when your customers come to you and they say they want to be forgotten? Can you actually offer them that capability? Can you make sure that your cookies accommodate your consent forms and it all nicely ties together?